I'm James Heaney, and this is Brief News Brief. 'Twas the night before the Electoral College, and all through the House of Representatives a question was stirring: will they vote their conscience? At noon in the capitals across the United States, the Electoral colleges will be making Donald Trump the 45th President of the United States, unless 37 Republican electors break against the party and vote their conscience. Odds are, if they don't vote for Trump, they're going to throw in the names of John Kasich and Mitt Romney. Now, if the Electoral College doesn't give at least one candidate 270 votes, the decision then gets pushed to the House of Representatives. It's all, this is it. It's coming to a culmination. This is the sunset, the showdown. If anything's going to happen, it's going to happen right now, today. There was a push in the last week to allow the Electoral College to be briefed by the FBI about the Russian hacks of the U.S. election. John Podesta, Clinton's campaign manager, talked with Meet the Press this weekend about the hacking, and some of the details are so startling it really makes Chuck Todd try to question what he's hearing. Let's take a look at what we're talking about.
The first time I was contacted by the FBI was 2 days after WikiLeaks started dropping my email.
2 days after?
2 days after. On October 7th, the Access Hollywood tape comes out. 1 hour later, WikiLeaks starts dropping my emails. 2 days later, the FBI contacted me, and the first thing the agent said to me was, I don't know if you're aware, but your email account might have been hacked.
When did
I said
you
yes.
know?
Yeah, I said yes. I was aware of that.
What do you mean, might have been hacked? This FBI agent calls him 2 days after the hacking and says, might? If you see his emails on WikiLeaks, that's because he's been hacked. I don't understand. What do you mean, might? Let's listen to the last bit before we go.
You have still not heard from the FBI since?
You asked me when.
Yeah.
How am I getting additional briefings? That was the first and last time I talked.
So October 9th is the last time you have heard from the FBI at all.
Maybe they are working on it. Maybe the FBI is working hard. But in my perspective, it looks like they just don't give a damn. Hillary Clinton's private server wasn't hacked by the Russians. Meanwhile, the DNC and John Podesta, they were both hacked. And if you think the RNC wasn't somehow hacked, then you're cray-cray. It seems pretty unlikely. Who doesn't get hacked, though? Well, Hillary Clinton's private email server. The Clinton campaign described the Clinton email scandal as a mere lapse in judgment with no national security implications whatsoever. In fact, they came out and said, oh, she just couldn't be bothered to carry around 2 phones. But I think we know what was going on here. Clinton personally had the wherewithal and the foresight to keep her personal and work emails private from hackers who are completely obsessed with her emails. You would think that Clinton's email was a Kardashian, the way Americans obsess over it. I mean, it broke the internet. China. Last week in the South China Sea, a Navy ship, the Bowditch, was using drone subs to measure ocean conditions. 2 were out collecting ocean samples, and then 1 was taken by a Chinese warship. The U.S. was pissed, and I'm quoting here, they said, "It's ours, give it back." They radioed the Chinese ship and demanded that it be returned, but the warship just sailed away. American officials were trying to determine whether this seizure was a response to Mr. Trump's call to Taiwan and crazy tweets, or whether it was just one more escalatory step in China's long-term plan to try to push out the United States Navy from the South China Sea, one of the world's busiest, most commercial and military waterways in the world. The Pentagon said that the drone had just been carrying out scientific research, no big deal. Please, China, return it. But experts, however, said that the drone might have been designed to follow China's submarine buildup, spying on its naval strengths as it seeks unfettered control of the South China Sea. Wednesday, the Center for Strategic and International Studies reported that China has installed weapons on the 7 artificial islands that it has built, which is pretty cray-cray. The Chinese have since agreed to return the sub, and the situation has de-escalated. But an American naval expert said, warfare and surveillance in the age of drones has not yet developed an agreed-upon set of rules. It's the wild, wild west of the robots in the South China Sea. That's news to me. Literally, this is news to me. I was startled this morning when I saw a message pop up on my phone, which is where I get all my YouTube comments when they first show up. It said that we lost a long-time viewer, Joe Baggins, as a subscriber. The message was cut short because the phone was in vertical mode, so I couldn't read the whole thing. My hands were trembling and shaking, and my eyelids were welling up with tears and emotions. But upon opening the app and reading the full message, I was relieved with really good news. Joe Baggins resubbed. Let me just give the quote to you. Joe Baggins, unsubbed so I could resub. Subbed. It's in fact the truth. He unsubbed because of complete and utter awe of the content of Brief News Brief. Those welled up tears began to pour down my face with a whole new inspiration. It was the emotion of joy. Finally, some good news. It's Pull Tally time! Do you use Yahoo? 0% of you said yes. That means no one's using Yahoo. I think it's time for Yahoo to close its doors. And secondly, why don't people pick up their dog poop? 50% say it's because they're too lazy. It's like an epidemic. Come on, people. Get yourself together. Don't be lazy. Pick up after your dog. And finally, are you one of those people that Facebook needs to tell what's real and what's not real? Thank goodness. My viewers do not need Facebook to tell them those things. They're smart enough to know the difference. New polls. You want to stay involved with democracy? Now's your chance. If you could own a drone, would it be a land drone, a UUV, unmanned underwater vehicle, or a UAV? A UAV is an unmanned air vehicle. Land, water, air. Now, second one is, what should the response be from the U.S. to reprimand Russia for its hacking? And last but not least, is it better to give than to receive? Do you enjoy giving a gift more than or less than receiving one?